That's right, it's another late night, which means it's time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out, oh, looky here, what a treat, something brand new! Heightened, Episode 4, Girl Talk.
Somewhere in an alternate dimension, Dragon and I are doing this exact same podcast.
Yep.
All right, so Dragon, I'm not even going to beat around the bush around this one. I think this is fantastic, man. I will admit, when I saw the title, I was a little worried because I was like, oh, is this going to be one of those episodes where, the female fans of JGI will eat it up? It'll be like right up their alley. They'll know exactly what they're talking about. But Dragon, us, you're like two of the most single men on the internet, along with being the whitest men on the internet. Dragon, I think it's fair to say we're two of the most single men on the internet. We kind of tend to, women's humor isn't necessarily our forte. But, Dragon, this is fantastic, man. I just think the editing, just the general concept of it was really on point. I was worried about it being 6 minutes, but it didn't overstay its welcome at all. Just generally speaking, I just think this was a home run from the JGI crew, and it was worth the wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed this quite a great deal. The minute I saw the thumbnail that we're kind of looking at right now, kind of an altered version of it, but a thumbnail nonetheless, it was the Spider-Verse, the Cataverse vibe that we're getting here was fantastic. The minute I snuffed out, oh god, we're doing Spider-Verse meets Katie Mary Garland. That's fantastic. I'm in.
Right,
I'm in.
Right.
I'm in. So let me give you a little bit of background here. We have some really interesting background on this.
Mm-hmm.
So for starters, so a lot of cast and crew on this. So this is directed by.
Please go through the cast, Dragon, by all means.
Okay, so this is directed by Joshua Thomas. It's written by. This thing went through a lot of revisions. So it's written by Joshua Thomas, Piper Henson, Katie Mary Garland, and a little bit of Miranda DeMeo in there. DeMeo. Also edited by kind of a co-op here of Piper Henson and Joshua Thomas. So again, all hands on deck on this one of the people involved. This one's been hyped up for a while. That Katie had a Heightened sketch that we just hadn't gotten to, and there've been a few is this the sketch? No, it's not the sketch. It's simmering. It's getting ready, and here it is. And so far back, what this, as you can probably tell, despite there being a reference to it, this is right before the lockdown.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's not before the virus necessarily, but it's before it got to the point where we're keeping everything under lock and key, so to speak. That's
sure.
That's why we have that reference in there. But
it was in the before times, as you would say.
Yeah, this is right at the tail end, right before the end times begin, so to speak.
God.
All right, God. So basically, Katie Mary Garland, KMG, she's got the. Piper Henson had the idea. I presume the whole multiverse idea would be my guess. And Katie then fleshed out the original story, which they get all the development time since, in getting this thing ready. It went through multiple revisions. And one last really special fun fact. The DeMeo, we don't have just one DeMeo, not just Miranda DeMeo, who we saw in the Hamilton sketch. No, we have two DeMeos for the price of one. We got Miranda and Annabella, her sister.
Okay. So those are the two. Those are the two kind of not as familiar faces in the sketch.
Yeah. We've seen Miranda's first time we're seeing Annabella. The one next to Piper is Annabella. I had to clarify this because again, the DeMeo sisters do look remarkably similar. If you
they do.
I mean, that's why I had to snuff that because I tried looking. I looked at the Hamilton videos. I just for the life of me couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. I mean, again, it's kind of hard because they keep cutting back so many times in this. It's hard to get a beat on.
Yeah.
That's why it was hard. Anyway, but really cool thing though I learned. Joshy Boy told me about. I believe their father is kind of screenwriting royalty. This guy, Paul DeMeo is their father.
Oh, wow.
Now, I don't know if you recognize that name or not.
The name sounds vaguely familiar.
I know why it's vaguely familiar for you.
Okay.
Okay, so you saw Paul DeMeo's last work, because unfortunately he passed away about a year or so ago.
Okay.
Ultimately, he wrote The Five Bloods. He was one of the writers on The
Oh
Five Bloods.
wow,
And the thing I know him from, he co-created the '90s Flash show with Danny Bilson.
nice, nice.
So
Respect.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So DeMayo talent it runs tried and true. Okay,
All right, so let's get into it, Dragon.
all right. Let's call in Miles Morales and start this puppy. All right. Okay, so Joshua Thomas has a little cameo as the narrator in our setting here as he sets the stage. Would you like to take it?
This is the story of Katie Mary Garland. She went on the same date with the same guy in two different universes.
Yep. So again, we're introducing the multiverse or the Katieverse. We'll see if it catches on, but we're introducing a multiverse, and again, like
Oh
the state.
God, Dragon! In the multiverse, in one of the multiverses, we have to have Upside Down Poncio. Upside Down
Yeah.
Poncio multiverse the whole
See,
time.
if we do a sequel to the biopic, we're gonna have it. We're gonna have enter the JGI
Oh,
verse.
oh my God! Oh Jesus! Oh wow!
That's our
So,
sequel. Our
so
sequel
it's
is gonna be the
basically like
heightened. Yeah,
heightened characters interacting with famous sketch characters, just all things.
exactly.
Oh man! Oh, I'm so down for
Dude,
that,
that's how we're
dude.
gonna. That's how we're gonna. Either that or a sequel to the sketch. If not a sequel, just kind of like biopic movie where it's all like deep heightened and it's like we have like Ken Armand interacting
Oh
with
God!
Upside Down Poncio and stuff like that.
Oh wow! We're
And
insane.
anyway, but yeah, I like that. Yeah, we have Josh here as like as neighbor. I love the music in this. By the way, I love the very kind of odd couple, kind of sick, kind of like '60s, early '70s kind of like tone to the music, and of course the split screen, little Brian De Palma nod, perhaps. I don't know. I'm loving it. But yeah, I love the split screen shot. It just kind of tells you everything you need to know how wonderful this is going to be. So, also really nice little editing here where we have like the fade mid walk before we split the screens. Like Katie's walking and she fades into the other Katie with a little text
Mhm.
bubble on the phone. All right, so we got the split screen of our assortment of funny women here. We got Piper Henson, we got Miranda and Annabella DeMeo on the couch with the wine, getting ready to watch The Bachelor or the recorded
The
version of the
batch.
the batch, man. The pumpkin batch, yeah.
Oh God.
All right, so also this is Piper Henson's apartment. You can tell because of said wedding photo,
Oh, we'll get
which
into that.
I keep saying wedding photo, just it's kind of just a couple's photo, and then like she's on the white
Is
napkin.
it
But
not a wedding photo? It looks like a
I
wedding photo.
I call it a wedding photo because I mean they're married, they're in the photo together. I mean it's kind of a wedding photo, but I mean she's not in the white, and she's not in the dress or anything, so I
All right,
can't
all
miss
right.
the point being anyway. So photo. All right, so
I like
they
how this
have.
whole time Milos is just like kind of looming over the sketch dragon.
I love that. I love that the Milos is kind of like her Bruce Campbell in a sense. Like
Uh-huh.
he just kind of pops up in everything, even though he's behind the scenes. Like he's in there somewhere. He's in there somewhere. We got to show love to Milos.
Oh God.
Milos.
All
Okay,
right.
so yeah, they're binging stuff. They're gossiping over KMG's date with who? Tiki?
William.
William or William,
Oh
depending
God.
on your universe. I know the other universes they are, but I prefer the whole William. So this is where we kind of set up that it's a brilliant thing within the comedy here, where we're using all the alternate takes for the alternate universe, which I think is a genius idea.
Mhm.
It's like do it again, like improvise, and of course we have like the other take on said lines. Wonderful.
All right, so basically, Dragon, the split in the universe kind of comes down to if he ignored her texts or not.
Exactly. It's the uncertainty of the future is what divides the universe. Is where I get all multiversal and everybody here. Of course, the famed thing about the multiverse theory is that it's every time you made a decision, you split a universe.
Uh,
So that's kind of what happened there. Like, honestly, if what we have is fantastic. I'm saying if they ever did another pass at, wouldn't it be great if like that's when the split happened?
mhm.
All right. So the editing masterwork between realities just begins. We have the pink universe, we have the green universe, and honestly, I could be reading into it, but I think it's kind of how you not read into it with all the wine. I like to think it's literally, the kind of the message or the metaphor of the whole thing is like glass half full, glass half empty with all the wine. So the pink universe is the glass half is the glass half full in the green universe, glass half empty in regards to waiting on the text after the date.
Well, first of all, we have some comedy. How do you even find him on Instagram? I didn't give you his last name. Oh, Katie. We're like the FBI. We know.
Of course, the other version being CIA.
Come on.
But again, like the sad sack Katie here, she's like, yeah, you can give me a last name.
Or
spill the beans, and of course we have Piper kills it with all of her line again. Piper hints that, as I said, she's too talented. Just get her out of here. She's choking up the room here. Just get her out. Anyway, so she's just like too good, too talented. Step outside, Piper. We can't handle him here. I love the
what? Place Willem Dafoe in the lighthouse because she knows how to do a spill the beans take.
Yeah, she did it really good. She's like, why do I see beans? Spill them. Gold, man. It's just gold. All right.
Now I just want to I just want to edit that into the lighthouse in the same way that I edited the Hamilton stuff.
Really?
Anyways.
All right, so basically, in the one universe, things went well. She said he's going to text me again if we're going out tomorrow. But I haven't heard from him yet. And I love in the green group here, they just all sigh collectively and they put the wine down.
All right, so let's see. We have which one is it, Dragon? Which one's the?
Okay, just tell me who she is. She next to Katie? Because the one next to Katie's
Katie. Yes.
Okay, the one next to Katie, according to Josh Thomas, so if he got it wrong, that's on him.
Okay.
Miranda. One next to Katie's Miranda.
So Miranda is saying, "All right, I've got to be 100% honest with you," and then different universal, 100% honest with you. I have a really good feeling about him. I had a really bad vibe about him.
You have the whole never wrong thing to it. I love that.
Right.
I love that they're being supportive on both fronts. So I love that being the unifying thing. They're supportive, but supportive in a different way. All right. So Miranda. So now Annabelle. I believe Annabelle is asking about William.
William, love that name.
Yep.
Actually, he goes by Billy. Billy, love that name.
Versus Billy. What a freak. That's like a serial killer name from 1957.
Oh, God.
It's where Billy Butcher's in the corner somewhere saying, hey,
then one of my
buckle.
Oh, God. Also, Billy Joe Armstrong, like, fuck you, Betty. Anyways.
If diabolical, she doesn't like my name. And of course, he'd call her a name we can't repeat here.
Oh, so, also, one of my favorite edit is just the sneering at the name, the serial killer thing, just edited to so cute.
Yeah, just again, this is possibly at the very least for the Heightened. This is the best edited Heightened.
Oh, this is easily the best edited for the Heightened, for sure. I would say.
Again, this is a Hall of Famer for JGI's editing prowess. So that's a high bar. Because old Joshy boy, he holds the crown. But seeing him and Piper get in the editing chair, like sharing half the, however you want to frame that, awesome. Okay, so then we're talking. It's basically what we described what the date was. They went to a wine bar for happy hour for like 4 hours.
Ooh.
In both universes, he wasn't drinking.
Dragon, I don't know. I got to admit, I'm on the side of the bad universe on this one. I think it's kind of weird. If you don't drink, don't go to a wine bar. Like, don't set that up as your date.
I got to admit, I hear your point. I get it, but
I just think it's odd. I just think it's a little off-putting. Like, it kind of goes against it kind of goes with the whole, like, hey, gonna liquor the girl up. You know what I mean?
Fair point. That's a fair point.
That's the vibe I get, honestly.
Well, again, that's why we have two universes here, because you can take it, you can have your cake and eat it too. Like,
right. So I got to admit, Dragon, I'm kind of taking points from both universes on this one, which kind of makes it fun.
I gotta tell you, I mean, here's the thing. See, when you bring up Tiki, your logic is absolutely sound. Okay, Green Universe points to them on this, but by the same token, I kind of like the uniqueness of it all. Like, yeah, he's not drinking, but yeah, he's respecting her choice to drink. That's kind of nice.
Right,
But
right.
again, without thinking, like, yeah, I guess tech, but it's like a nice venue, probably.
Oh, I'd be
I
very
can,
uncomfortable
like,
going on a girl drinking if I wasn't drinking Dragon. I'd
I
be
mean, I
very
gotta be honest. Look,
uncomfortable.
here's the thing. I can appreciate the wine culture, but I myself would not partake in the wine. I can appreciate it though. But you're right. Not in a date setting. Not a good idea.
All right.
All right.
So
I like
then
the
we have the
Frasier
gag.
atmosphere of it all. Is my point. I'm sorry. Anyway, keep going.
Sure, sure, sure. So then we have the gag about the happy hour of it all, which is one of my favorite observations. Like, oh, what is he poor? Oh, he must be saving. This is like the most. This is like the most heightened moment in the whole thing, Dragon. I
Yeah.
think just like instantly going to like, oh, he must be saving for the future, and then she like rocks the baby.
Yeah.
Like that was a very heightened moment. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Again, this is
Just like
yeah.
okay, like instantly instantly going there.
And again, with all like the wine and the wine bar of it all, again, glass half full, glass half empty is exactly our point here, which I'm loving with the connectivity of all that. So.
Oh,
Then here's my favorite part. This is the most Curb Your Enthusiasm part of the sketch, and I love this so much. The reach. I love talking about the reach.
oh yeah, oh that's a very absolutely curb your enthusiasm. Oh yeah,
I love it, and again,
I could just totally see Larry going on a rant about this.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm
she
saying.
did the
This
reach.
feels
She did the reach. I didn't know what to tell you. You did the reach, and then I went to pay. What do you want?
reach pretty good.
All right.
No. But seriously, it's like I love the. This feels like again the root of the heightened a little bit there, where again it's like maybe Katie went on like someone went on a date, and then the conversation got it going again. Like, oh my god, we could turn this into a heightened. They can just like go really elaborate with it, and give it kind of a stylistic kind of Spider-Verse edge.
Uh-huh.
All right, so again, the reach being, the girl is reaching for is gesturing for the wallet, in which just in case the guy's dragging his feet to pick up the check, or basically it's the moment of truth with the check time for the other person. So it's a big moment, and basically like the one side is like, oh yeah, I didn't even need the reach, versus the other one says he needed the reach to know it.
Right.
It's
And
kind of
then they
gentleman
discuss,
versus scumbag.
oh god, over the exact same scenario.
Yep.
Then they discuss the him being an actor,
Mm-hmm.
and it basically is like, ooh, oh.
I should also mention this because I think we might have glossed over because it's one of Piper Hinton's best moments in the whole thing. She says, amidst like the whole gentleman scumbag, and the music just stops, and then we go to Piper Hinton. She's like, he wasn't drinking, and then he just takes a sip. It's my favorite moment in the whole thing. It's so funny.
Oh,
all right, so then we have like he's an actor. Oh, ew. So Piper's like, oh, hey, she's been waiting for Katie to find someone like Milos as we push into the photo, we push into the wedding
the photo
picture.
pushing is great. It's just like it's basically a Milos cameo. If him being in the photo already wasn't a cameo.
You know what's funny though? See, when they did the live premiere of this thing, and Piper Hinton was in the comments, I noticed like, hey, there's Milo in the photo, and she's like, wait for it, and I was like,
nice.
She was getting ready for. Oh yeah, she knew that push-in was coming. Yeah, she did. Yeah, after all, of course she knew it was coming. All right. So of course, actors. That's horrible. Oh, he sounds like a diva.
And then he also has a side hustle. He hosts these like arm wrestling competitions.
You know about Over the Top, right?
Oh, no, well, Over the Top? No.
Yeah, Over the Top is the most ridiculous Sylvester Stallone movie ever. It's about the arm wrestling culture thing, where he's a truck driver who enters in the arm wrestling competitions.
No, I knew nothing about.
Okay, you remember? Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, do you remember the Hey Arnold episode where Harold and Big Patty enter the arm wrestling competition based on Over the Top?
All right, you might have added something to my memoirs catch up this month if I can find it.
It's the most, and it was a Cannon movie. You remember Cannon? They went over budget. It's like that, like what they did around. They're getting the big star stables with Superman and Sylvester Stallone with that sort of stuff. This is the stuff that broke them. Okay.
All right.
All right. So yes, point being, this is that a real thing? Which is why she's like, oh my god, I didn't know that was a real thing. She thinks it's just a movie. Effing weird, man.
Okay, so
Where does he live?
he lives in Venice.
Oh, that's
Which,
that's
Dragon,
too
this is
far
another
away.
thing I'm going to be on the side of the negative people. Venice is kind of a shithole from what I know of it.
Is it really that bad? Because you think naming it like Venice would give it like give
Oh
it
no!
cred,
Don't
right?
let the name deceive you, Dragon. Don't let the name deceive
I
you.
know, like that's weird, isn't it? Though I'm not.
It's basically the ghetto of Santa Monica.
Like you'd think that would be like you'd think they'd be like, oh, it's such a lush part of the place. Why else could they call
The
it
thing
Venice?
that fascinates me about Venice is the local culture. I will admit that. The local culture is very colorful. That's the word I'll give it. And I don't say that in a bad way. But yeah, just in terms of the actual location, from everything I know about it, it's basically the ghetto of Santa Monica.
Gotcha. Okay, so Venice
And
is definitely
now we're gonna have someone from who lives in Venice coming at me at the Commons.
yep.
Anyways,
Okay, so okay, let's see. So it might as well be China. How far he is away, and like, oh yeah, the beach, and like one, I think one's like, oh, he lives near the beach, and Piper's like, okay, that's it. You know, it's like it's weird. So it's all gross there, is hanging out and getting all sorts of diseases, which then leads to our topical joke.
like COVID-19.
Yep, yep.
Well, I just demonetized our video, Dragon.
Well, thanks for that. Anyway, yeah, we lost the penny. Okay, so
Oh boy.
yeah, JGI owes us a penny. No, I'm kidding. We don't owe us anything.
We'll see what happens when we get to 1,000 subs, man. We're not far off.
Yeah, again, I just want the 1,000s for the community page. Is all I want for.
I know. I hear you.
All right. So okay, so then there's let's see, we get the text. Ah, yes, we get the big text.
Yes.
We have a
And
random Piper Hinton shot too.
I love how celebratory they all are about the text.
Yeah, we have like a random just like pushing on Piper though, which is kind of weird. I got to admit, like, why are we focusing on Piper right now? All the attention should be going to the phone. Anyways, then we go to the phone, and the text are coming in green says that, and of course, like, that means he's got an Android phone, which apparently means he's gonna try to kill you. Must be like a flat earther too.
Oh God. Oh, Dragon, is that what people think of people who use Androids? Because you and I have long documented our dislike of Apple.
Yeah, Apple lost all my respect because again they give us such a great show like Defending Jacob, and yet no one can watch it.
Yep, yeah.
Unless you have the almighty Apple phone.
All right.
I'm looking at you, Apple.
This has been our saga for the past month, folks.
Don't you think you can hide from me, Apple?
All right. Anyways.
I'm coming for you. Anyway.
All right. So let's see. So I'm sorry. Do you want to take us through some of this?
Let's see. But was the flat earther thing, which in was it Space Force had a really good flat Earth joke when he's doing his Senate hearing. Anyway, so sorry, refocusing here. So it's not too soon to think of marriage, says the pink group. Like, oh, it's not too soon to think of marriage. Versus I love this bit here. Do you want to know his last name? I gotta tell you, I love the sad really Katie. I love sad Katie's acting here. I just love it really hit me in the sketch. Like, the music's really good to hear too. I just love this whole. Do you want to know his name, Katie? So I love as many laughs as we had. Again, one Katie within this multiverse here is like, it's really coming down on her here, and you feel bad for her. You feel a swell of pity and sympathy. So adding a little bit of heart plus the gag, and of course the ultimate gag being Billy. Multiverse of Billies, and take us through all the dichotomous differences of the universe of Billy.
Well, it basically comes down to timing, Dragon.
Pretty much.
Like they're saying the exact same things, just there's a slight delay in one of the universes.
And they're wearing different things.
They're wearing different things. Yeah, one of them is wearing like a let's see, like
Flannel robe
a
versus
flannel
yeah.
shirt, and then also like a nice jacket, and then one of them's wearing like a striped T-shirt, and then also kind of like looks like more of a workout shirt
Yeah,
and
the
a hat.
roommate's wearing a hat in one universe. I just love the very simple like decisions. Like, yeah, one's wearing a hat. I wonder if they were inspired a little bit by the Rick and Morty kind of the kind of split screen from the opening of the.
Well, we know Joshy Boy is a fan, so
That's what I'm saying. I know that. So I wonder if perhaps like literally doing the split screen kind of stylistically came from that idea of like we can divide all the universe with the slight differences, perhaps.
Mhm. All
All
right.
right.
So the
Yeah.
punchline is basically like, "Hey, how'd your date with that girl Katie go?"
He
It
just
went
eats his
cool.
cereal. It was cool.
It was cool.
So okay, just the same invention, same outcome. Of course, the gag being men don't quite overthink things, you know.
Oh well, some men.
Well,
I'm
I'm
not
just
one of
saying
those men.
compared. I mean, the gossipy side of it, perhaps. I mean, it's not as much of a anyway.
Sure, sure. For
Or then
me,
we
it's
have the arm
more of the
wrestling.
anxiety side.
Then we have the arm wrestling tournament gag.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got my arm wrestling. Are you gonna make it? Yes.
All right. Anything at the credits, Dragon?
Oh, that was it.
That was it. Okay. So, well, yeah. Just final thoughts. This was definitely worth the wait and the hype. I hope they continue in this multiverse thing. It could be like a really interesting road down for the Heightened web series. And like we keep saying, the editing is absolutely phenomenal. And I really enjoyed the new faces as well. I'm really enjoying seeing some fresh faces on JGI.
Yeah. Thoughts for me, very strong heightened. One of the strongest in the series for sure. And again, they keep getting better because I loved all the heightens, and they just kind of keep getting better, and I dig it. It's I love how we're getting better and more ambitious with the heightens, going with the full multiverse idea. That's so cool. Again, I echo Tiki sentiments. It's so far, and again, so far they haven't dipped too much, and they're not self-indulgent in a negative way, which is the big risk with the heightened series. Just to voice that, because again, they could be like, hey, we're a big deal. We're kind of we're doing stuff referencing our own stuff because we're that bored. They're not getting it at all because they're making it still quality, and you can still at least get a gag in there, even if you're kind of coming into it fresh. It's like I love that.
Uh-huh.
All right, all right, that does it for now until the next exciting installment and reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag.
Oh, there's so many good quotes to pick from, Dragon. I don't know which one to use.
William.
William, ooh.